The ANC may be facing more turbulence in the road ahead to the 2017 elective conference. This as the long-standing relationship with the traditional leaders seems to have hit a snag. The Congress of Traditional Leaders of South Africa, or Contralesa, has decided to withdraw its allegiance to ANC should the party fail to meet its list of demands before the year ends. Contralesa says that the ANC has, among other things, failed to accelerate land redistribution and to restore their dignity by signing into law the Traditional Courts Bill. The organization is also demanding that the President Zuma pardons convicted Abatembu King Buyelekaya Dalenjabo. The Traditional Leaders Organization held a conference in Johannesburg at the weekend. It has given the ANC 60 days to respond to its demands. The ultimatum comes as the ANC is facing deepening internal rift arising from the poor showing in the August polls and the debate on the successor to President Jacob Zuma. And joining us on the phone line to further unpack this is Contralesa President Kgosi Setla Morago. Thank you so much for joining us here on Morning Prime. Tell us about the important declarations taken in the conference held at the weekend.
Thank you very much. Indeed, yes, the Congress of Traditional Leaders of South Africa held its National General Council from Friday until yesterday. And we then, amongst other resolve and after realizing that the relation between traditional leaders and the ruling party, the African National Congress, has deteriorated to a level where we may say it's not existing any longer. And in that regard, we then said we are going to give them 60 days to address all issues that we have been giving to them since 1994 to date. And at the same footing as we are allowing to negotiate and discuss with them to solve all the burning issues relating to land, relating to the governance of the institution of traditional leaders, we have also resolved to establish a task team. The task team, its main responsibility will be to further the research and consulting with broader structures of our communities, which include the religious communities, the business communities, young people, so as the labor movement. We will make sure that when the 60 days lapse, we will then be calling another NEC to assess progress that we have reached with the ANC and also to receive the report coming from, the task team. We will then announce our further decision in that regard. Of course, possibility of establishing a political party is also on the plan, because if we don't agree on the things we have requested or if we have agreed that ANC should resolve them, we'll have no choice but to find a way to have a political legitimacy that will make ourselves to change things to suit ourselves. I'm sure part of the 60 days that we're expecting ANC to look into is to make sure that within that framework they will transfer land that traditional community are residing into them with title deeds. And the failure to do that might be, again, things that will be reported back to the NEC.
You have given the ANC an ultimatum of these 60 days to act on your demands. Can you take us through the list of demands?
Of course, we also demanded that as much as we are supporting the progressive move of the South African government to withdraw from the ICC on the basis that, amongst other, the ICC continuously undermining the legitimacy of African, leaders, in which they are prosecuting the sitting head of state. And when you prosecute a head of state, you make them to lose focus, and the nation risk to go into any other direction. But on the same footing, while we are supporting that progressive move, we are saying we will support that move if the very same government of South Africa under President Zuma, they provided King of Abatembu, His Majesty King Zwelibanzi Dalindyebo, a presidential pardon, because equally he is the sitting head of the nation of Abatembu. When you imprison him, the Abatembu nation is left without a leader, and it risks to have, instability that we are not, looking forward to have a nation that will forever not be stable. So those are part of the things that we spoke of. Of course, the issue of strengthening and making sure that rural development it's getting priority. The economy at the rural level are getting priority, while at the same time, as long as we don't get the title deed, we are
unfortunately, we lost Tobojane there. That is the Contralesa president, Jose Setla Mogracha Tobojane, joining us on the line. Unfortunately, we lost him there. Moving on to other stories making headlines, the Abatembu nation might have two kings before the end of the week. This as a feud is brewing over the rightful interim ruler of the nation. The son of jailed King Buyelekhaya Dalenjebo, Prince Azenati Dalenjebo, wants to act in his father's place, while his uncle Prince Mthandeni Dalenjebo has already been installed as acting king. Azenati's faction is expected to install him as acting king on Monday. Reports say Azenati addressed a gathering of Abatembu in Umzimkhulu on the lower KwaZulu-Natal south coast at the weekend, saying his father made his decision public about who should take over as king. But the faction of the royal house that wants Dalenjebo's brother to take over says the jailed king does not have the powers to choose a successor. King Dalenjebo is at present serving a 12-year jail term for arson and kidnapping.